Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Faith if you're new, and to all my returning subscribers, hello. You're probably going to be seeing me moving around quite a bit. I'm just sitting on my birthing ball, so yeah, I'll try and stay still, but can't really do much. Today we're going to be talking about pregnancy update, pregnancy recap, pregnancy, everything about pregnancy. So it is my second trimester recap, and y'all, I'm currently 35 weeks pregnant and I can't believe I've left it this late. But the good thing is I've got notes that I've been constantly writing. It's just bringing myself to actually do the filming just because I've been quite busy. But I thought, you know what, I have to just come and record this. So here I am. This is my second trimester recap. The second trimester started from 14 weeks all up to 28 weeks for me. So I'm going to be going through everything that I experienced. I was excited at every symptom that I had. Literally, I was so excited. Let's delve into what happened in my second trimester. Whew, you can tell I'm pregnant. So the first thing I noticed in my second trimester was I started to get acne. I was glowing in my first trimester. I was so good looking, in my opinion, if I do say so myself. And then second trimester hit and I started having a rash like acne on my face. And I was just like, what is this, sis? I was mainly concentrated on my forehead. Again, they weren't painful. They weren't irritating me as such. I wasn't wearing a lot of makeup, so I was okay with them. I knew that they would pass. So it was just another one of those things that came with pregnancy. So I embraced it and I just carried on with life because I was like, yeah, you'll be gone soon. So the next thing I noticed was I started to have nosebleeds. This happened at least 3 times in my second trimester. And it wasn't alarming to me, but it was alarming to my husband. Me, I was just like, I'm good. The first time I noticed a nosebleed was sometime in my, I think, 17th week of pregnancy. All of a sudden, I felt this trickle come down my face, and I was like, what's that? Then I tried to wipe it, and I'm like, that's blood. I was like, well, it's just because I got 2 people's bloods flowing through my veins, you know? That's why that happened. And my third thing that I wrote down is that I started to have extreme thirst. So I got to a point where I could not drink enough water to quench my thirst. That has thankfully changed now. But I was drinking a lot of water. I was drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. It was just not enough. And my next symptom was when I would walk, I just felt like my limbs were so loose. And this is normal with pregnancy because your body releases some hormones that causes your limbs to loosen up and helps your pelvis to open up, just to, you know, help the baby come out or just fit into your pelvis nicely at the time and then come out when it's time for the baby to come out. Every single symptom that I experienced, I welcomed and I looked forward to. And I was just like, yeah, so this is the next thing. Okay. All right, we can cope. So yeah, that was one interesting symptom. So everything just felt very loose, especially in my legs and my bum. So in my second trimester, so actually ever since I found out I got pregnant, I have been using bio oil and shea butter religiously. The original African shea butter, and I ended up mixing them into a combo, and then I use that twice a day every day. And this is because I know that I'm prone to stretch marks. Like I went through puberty and I gained quite a bit of weight, and I had lots of stretch marks that it took me a while to wrap my head around. So I was very aware that I would be prone to getting stretch marks in my pregnancy. I didn't deceive myself to think that whatever I did will completely stop the stretch marks from coming. My mentality behind using these things was basically, I know that stretching is a lot on the skin. So I will do everything I can to support my skin in this stretching process. I would most likely end up getting stretch marks, but I'm hoping they would be controlled and not be too bad. So that was good because every time I would rub my belly, it'd just be like a bonding moment, and then I'll end up looking like a gorgeous globe of human awesomeness. But yeah, that was that. So my next thing I wrote down was that as of 22 weeks pregnant, I had gained about 4 kilos in weight, which I was happy about, which was another one of my strategies to help control stretch marks. So I knew that if I gained too much weight, I would most likely get stretch mark in lots of places. So I decided on my actual weight gain tolerance in this pregnancy. So I wanted to be at a healthy weight where I knew that my baby was still fine, but also not too far on the weight gain scale that I would gain weight in many other places apart from where I needed to gain that weight, which would be my stomach, my placenta, blood volume, fluid retention if that happened, just, you know, the things that needed to happen for this baby to be healthy and not just extra fat and extra flesh and everything. And I think I have managed to control that to a good extent. I will tell you where I'm at in my 3rd trimester if you just watch my 3rd trimester recap, which I should be uploading shortly after this one. As of 22 weeks pregnant, I was 4 kg heavier than when I got pregnant. And then at that point, I started to feel proper pregnant. I don't know, I felt like my stomach was massive. But looking back and seeing my stomach now, I'm like, that was nothing. That was nothing compared to what you look like now. If you want to see what I look like now, go and watch my 3rd trimester recap and you would see that, because I'll be showing my belly in different stages in that video. At 28 weeks pregnant, which was the end of my 2nd trimester, I had gained a total of 6 kilos from the beginning. So from week 4 when I found out to week 28, I gained a total of 6 kilos. So for me, that was still on track because I only wanted to gain a total of 10 kilos at most throughout my pregnancy. And if I could keep it under that, great. So at 20 weeks, I actually got COVID. I was not too mad about it because it came at a good time. I didn't want to have COVID in my 1st or 3rd trimester because I knew it was risky in both situations. I knew that my 2nd trimester was safer. I think I probably had the Omicron variant. And all I had was a cough. And maybe in the first 1 or 2 days felt a bit run down, but that was about it. I had to self-isolate. I was on my own. But it was really nice just to have my space and be alone for a bit. It was really nice. So I had my anomaly scan at 20 weeks and everything was fine. And I also found out the gender at 20 weeks. So we had a gender reveal party and I'll insert a short clip of when we found out the gender and what our reactions were like.
Yes!
Okay, 1, 2, ready, go.
No,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And yes, you need to watch that to find out what the baby is. I'm not going to be referring to it throughout this video until my 3rd trimester recap. We were quite happy, we were pleased, we feel blessed, and we're just all good with it. At my anomaly scan appointment, I got given the whooping cough vaccine. It was optional, so I decided to take it and I was fine. Though I didn't like needles, I had told myself before when I would be pregnant, I would do anything needed to do to ensure the health and safety of my baby. So I don't like needles, but I had to do it. So that was okay. Baby kicks. I am the noisiest person you would ever meet. I mean, I thought I started feeling baby kicks at what? 10 weeks. I was telling people, I swear I could feel something. I felt a little tickle in my stomach. I felt something. And people were just looking at me like, you're crazy. If you could give me a stethoscope to look in my belly every day, I'll literally spend all day looking in there and just watching the baby. I think my first movement that I felt was I was sitting down and putting a bit of pressure on my stomach because I sat with my legs crossed and it was almost like the baby was uncomfortable, or just because I pressed that part in, I could feel a bit more. I just felt some few boom, boom, boom nudges. And I'm like, oh, am I feeling that? And then ever since then, I paid closer attention and I noticed that actually, yeah, I was feeling the baby move. And I was so excited. Like every single milestone I hit with this pregnancy, I would celebrate with food, of course. So I messaged everyone. I was like, I can feel the baby move. The baby's moving. I'm so happy. At first, it felt so alienish. and I was just like, whoa, there's actually a person in my body and this person is moving mad. But over time, I just loved and loved and loved and loved the movements. And even up till now, I'm just feeling her move and I'm just so pleased. The next symptom I got in my second trimester is something called a pregnancy dental tumor. Yep, I said it right. Dental tumor of pregnancy. But if you're nosy and you like me and you probably want to know what that is, you can look it up. I have that currently. It's normal apparently in pregnancy and it will go away once I've had the baby. At first I was just like, that's a bit weird. But again, it was another thing that fascinated me about this whole pregnancy process. I stared at it for so long and I poked it and I did so many things to it and I was just like, interesting. I didn't know this could happen. But yeah, that's an exciting, weird, strange symptom that I had, or that I still have. And I wrote down indigestion and regurgitation. So I believe this has been happening since my second trimester. So for some reason, my food just keeps trying to come back up. So some days I'll have heartburn for like 5 days straight and then it'll just feel better. And I think this is normal just because, again, your body sends signals and loosens a lot of things. So I think the thing that keeps your food suppressed in your stomach, your sphincter, is a bit loose, so it can open and your food tries to come back up, and that's all normal. And it just means my body's working fine, and that when things need to open up, they will open up for the baby to make the exit. I started to have nausea in my second trimester at 24 weeks on and off, but it ended up going away. So I only had it for maybe a week or two, but I did note it down because I was just like, this is a bit odd. It wasn't as intense as first trimester nausea, but it was, I felt it and that was fine. It went away, so I'm not too concerned. And at about 25, 26 weeks, I traveled on a girls' trip to Marbella, Spain. We traveled to Marbella and we were allowed to travel, and I decided to make the most of it. Went to Marbella for a week. I had such a good time and I was happy that I finally got to do one last girls trip before I had this baby. And then when I came back from Marbella, 2 weeks after that, I was off to Malta with my husband for our baby moon. We chose Malta. I really wanted to go to Bali or the Maldives, but I realized that I was already in my third trimester as at that time, so it wasn't safe for me to travel far away. So I just chose Malta because it was the closest place that gave me the sort of vibe I wanted. I just wanted somewhere very relaxing and chill, and we had a good time in Malta. So yeah, that was good. I really enjoyed being able to just do those last 2 trips, although I know that I'll be going somewhere again within the next year. I know that in my soul, I know. Even though it felt like a last trip, it really wouldn't be my last trip for a while. Maybe not the elephant in the room, but like the big thing for me, stretch marks. So after all my oils and everything, I was like, oh, okay, we're getting far. No stretch marks. And all of a sudden my stomach started itching and I was like, what could that be? And then, boom, all of a sudden at 22 weeks, I noticed the stretch marks. I don't know if I'll be able to show that or if I will be willing to show that on here. I might show it if I make a separate video about like the whole concept of stretch marks in pregnancy. Because lots of people kept telling me, oh, moisturize, it won't come. But in my head, I mean, I'm a healthcare professional, so I know how to find like evidence-based information. I know that stretch marks, if you will get them, will be unavoidable. So I was just like, you know what, it's fine. I know my body, I know that I will end up getting stretch marks anyways. I'm just going to help my skin as much as possible by drinking a lot of water, by trying not to gain too much weight, and by moisturizing as often as I can, which I did twice a day, every day. So everything I did, I still ended up getting lots of stretch marks, but I feel strongly in my spirit that if I didn't do these things that I did, it might have been much worse. And I'm just hoping that everything I'm doing would help the healing process of the stretch marks and will help them to, you know, just go back to a good place when this baby's out and everything is nice and back to sort of as normal as can possibly be. I think I've pretty much spoken about everything that I've written down. And if you have any questions at all, please leave that in the comment section below and I would answer the questions as soon as I can get to them. But other than that, thank you so much for watching this video. I am currently in my 3rd trimester and I will be doing a 3rd trimester recap, so stay tuned for that video to be uploaded if you want to see that. And if I've already uploaded it, check on my channel and you will find it. Thank you and have an amazing day, and I'll catch you in my next video.